Hello and welcome back to the Dark Orb and our live stream actual play of Dungeon Crawl Classics, Nebin Pendlebrook's Perilous Pantry. Very lucky that we have Judge Zach running the game for us, and this is our second episode. So if you are watching this not live, then please make sure you have seen the first episode. I think it's a good time for us just to throw this straight over to Judge Zach. Before I do that, just to point out that this scenario is available through Purple Sorcerer and at the Goodman Games website, as is, of course, Dungeon Crawl Classics, written by Mark Bishop. It's one of many people's favorite level 0 funnel scenarios for Dungeon Crawl Classics. Without any further ado, let's get everyone arranged back as we were. And Judge Zach, take it away, my friend.
Cool. Do you want to bring up the VTT that we've got there? Because I've got everything that we've explored thus far for Nebin Pendlebrook.
I'm bigging it.
In beginning. So to give you a quick recap on the story here, about a week ago, Nebin Pendlebrook went missing. About 3 days ago, Constable Kelvin also went missing, and they both happened to go missing down a tunnel that was uncovered by Nebin in his house as he dug into the hill to enlarge his pantry before the winter. The crew have gone down to try and discover what's happened to these people in the town, and They went down the tunnel themselves, found themselves in a natural cavern where they fought toad spiders, and we had a few deaths. Long shall we mourn them. And where we find ourselves now is in probably a 40 by 40 foot square. Well, not exactly square because it's natural. Cavern. There is webs. There's webs everywhere. There's stalagmites and stalactites. We have a ledge that was discovered shortly before the death of one of the characters. I'm going to assume for the sake of not having to come up with a reason for it that he yelled out, "There's a ledge over there!" before he died.
He yelled that out, but just with one word, he managed to convey all of that emotion and all that information.
And that word was
he did it in such a way that it echoed off the ledge, you see.
And we left on a cliffhanger whereby the party had found a pair of glasses that they know unmistakably were owned by Nebin. And so with that, I guess I'll hand over to the characters to work out what will you do next.
Well, Barbo picks up the glasses and says, "I think we found at least where Nebin was."
Keep hold of those glasses. They'll need to be tallied in with his estate for the. Never mind.
I hate that guy.
Indeed, Eisen.
Arthur Eisen, tax collector extraordinaire.
Indeed, he has been extraordinary.
We'll see what we can do about that.
So, I've got a sneaking feeling that Eisen, you're going to be trying to tax one of those up there, and Barbo is pointing up to the three kind of.
Oh yes, clearly he's dead. I mean, this is all about the inheritance tax for his successors.
I mean, are we going to try and get those down?
Well, I suppose so.
Cool.
Can anybody see a way up to that ledge?
Troll heads over towards the ledge and looks up. I mean, she's a dwarf, so
yeah.
How high up is this ledge?
Yeah, Brody will head over as well. The hunter.
The ledge was 10 feet up to the edge.
So Troll jumps once or twice to see if she can try and reach it.
We can help give you a lift up if that's not too offensive.
Yeah. We'll go
no
for a
extra
boost.
elevation there. You can't throw her.
Can't throw a dwarf. Must just be a rumor, that then.
Yeah.
Our caravan guard is quite stocky and tough as well, so he'll he'll try and help with any boosting of people.
Mm-hmm.
Quite muscular.
Cool. So it was Trial that was being lifted. Was that right?
Yeah.
Because the Trial scrabbles up, just kicks around and stuff. And as you're scrabbling and you get up, you grab onto like a root or something like that. Like it's a solid sort of thing. You start pulling on it. It comes free in your hand, but luckily you've got enough grip to be able to sort of like reef yourself up the rest of the way. And you turn to look at the root that you said, this is not a very good root. It just comes straight. It's not a root. It's a bone, a leg bone that was connected to the hip bone of the skeleton that is on this ledge. It is the remains of an aged explorer. It looks like. So yeah, there's a like a travel bag sort of thing slung around the shoulder bone that's connected to the arm bone.
So Charles shouts down to the others, there's a dead body up here. Well, a skeleton. It's got a bag. I'm going to have a look in the bag.
Cool.
Rips open the bag.
So yeah, you dig through the
An
bag.
awful lot of paperwork.
Well, wait until you hear about this. You're going to start salivating. There is a fine dagger in there. It's pretty fine. Yeah. The fine dagger. You know, if
anybody
you
going
had
to take that dagger, I'll just take a note.
Apart from the fine dagger, what else is there?
Yeah, so you continue to turn that through. You turn around it. You turn out its pockets. The skeleton. You really go to town looking through things. You find a glass eyeball and 7 gold coins and a small kit of thieves' tools. I mean, the 7 gold coins. We established in the first episode that most of you may not have even have seen one of these, right? Like this is a veritable treasure.
Yeah. She quietly pockets the 7 gold coins.
I suppose, technically, no one else can see any of this.
Not mentioning anything to anyone else. Takes the glass eyeball too, and the fine dagger, and picks the thieves' tools up and chucks them over the ledge down onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But pockets the glass eyeball along with the gold coins.
Love a good bit of PvP early. Let's establish the way that the party's going to play together. Yeah.
But Yale,
Cool.
I think, is going to try and catch those tools and probably fail because she's not particularly dexterous.
Okay.
Death or taxes.
Where's my D20 gone? There it is.
Happy to pick them up and hand them to you if you fail to catch them.
I mean, that was a 12.
Oh, well done.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to impress anyone with it, but it's a fine catch.
No, she kind of recognizes what they are, by the type of binding of the bag, and she's got some fine tools already. So she thought, well, more tools.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking back to the arguments she had with the blacksmith about whose tools are better, and going, my tools are much better than yours now.
Mm-hmm. For the purposes of
taking a little note.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whilst you're at the bookkeeping, for the players around the table for the bookkeeping, that fine dagger does a 1d6 of damage.
Well, I'll shout up. Anywhere to tie a rope off?
Charles looks around. Is there anywhere to tie a rope off up on the ledge?
Yeah, there's a few stalagmites that are hanging out up here. They're growing, if you will.
Yes, there's plenty of secure places. I don't have any rope.
Oh, I can help with that. So,
Right. How are we going to get you up there?
well, I've got 50 foot of rope, so I'm sure I can toss up the end of the rope.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so I'll let out about 10, 15 feet and chuck the end up.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it because on a long enough timeline, you can make this happen. You know, even if you fail a
I'll
few
just try
times.
again. Yeah, just try a couple of
It might be embarrassing.
Don't try a rock to it and then throw it up, because that can go wrong.
Misses the first one and grabs it the second time.
There you
I
go.
think it's always
Pulls
amazing how we're expected to just hump 50 foot of rope around like it's nothing, you know. real world 50 foot of rope is, you know.
That's why we left
Anyway.
100 foot of rope upstairs.
Yeah.
Quality hempen rope, I hope.
Yeah.
Good and heavy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
She ties it off on one of the stalagmites and then gives it a good pull. Goes, yeah, it's tied off, nice and secure. You can come on up if you want. Is there anything? Is like there any like entrance out on this ledge, or is it just? I mean, is there like a tunnel or anything, or is it just a ledge on the wall?
It's just a ledge, so it's going to fill up pretty quick, right? Like there's not going to be.
She hasn't said anything about there being a tunnel or not being a tunnel, but she's like, "Yeah, I can tie it off for you." And ties it off. And with that,
I don't know why you want to tie it off, but all right.
What do you want to do with that now?
Shimmies down the rope, comes back down and goes, "There you go."
I mean, it's been well established that you're not all seasoned adventurers, right? You just you're feeling your way through this whole adventuring thing, right?
Is there anywhere from the ledge that will help us get to the bodies that have been hooked up by the spider toads?
Wouldn't that be a great idea? Yeah, sure. Let's make that happen. Yeah. So you are closer because you're 10 feet closer, right? And the ledge was not like ages away from where you were fighting. So whatever you were going to attempt to try and get the cocoons down from the ground would be easier to do from where you are now. Yeah.
Okay. Someone had that 10-foot pole earlier. Come on. You on?
I'm Pete. I say that I used 10-foot pole, and I. This means the ventriloquist.
Grab a girdle. The caravan guard will pass the pole up nicely.
Yep. Well, it's a 10-foot ledge, so it's like it was made for it. Yeah. Fantastic.
Maybe we could tie off a dagger onto the end of the pole or something, so we could
stab anyone who's at the top.
Does it reach?
Yeah. You'll be able to reach. Yeah. Absolutely.
Who's actually up there?
Just trial at the moment, isn't it?
Trial climbed down.
Trial came down. Does nobody go up?
No one else.
So you're standing there holding the pole up. Just grab it. Just grab it.
All right.
Climb up.
Who's going to climb up?
Does the 10-foot pole reach to the swinging corpses?
Yeah, you'll be able to reach there. Yeah. Okay. You've come up with a clever idea, right? I'm not going to make you roll for this. You can get them down by a 10-foot pole, right?
Has somebody got a knife or a dagger? Tie it on the end of here and cut them down.
Yeah, never mind.
I mean, they're not going to be alive, right? So when they fall and horribly smash on the floor,
he says, hopefully.
That's fine. I'll give them a little prod each to see if there's any movement.
Yeah, so you prod them, no perceived movement from these things.
A little bit of a swing. Okay. Do we have a blade that we can tie onto here? I
absolutely. Yeah, I picked up a dagger in the village. Here you go.
Great. Lovely.
Cool. A great plan comes together. As I say, like there's been a number of steps that have gotten you to here, so I'm not going to make you roll because it's a clever idea. Go ahead and you've cut down one of these cocoons. It lands with a thud, and then that's kind of what you get.
Okay. I've given you my dagger, so I can't cut this open. Is it one of the people that we know, or is it somebody else?
As I cut them down, I'll pass the dagger down.
Are you going to cut all three down?
Yeah.
So there's 5
cut them all down, and then you can have
five,
the knife back.
Okay. Let's cut open one of the ones that we don't know.
Okay, cool. So you cut one of these things open. And inside you find a decaying, half-eaten body.
Oh no!
There are like there's green ooze that was so eloquently described in the
ooze
last
again.
episode. There's ooze. It's like there's like a burning flesh smell coming out of it as well. Like it hasn't been burnt, but there's that smell coming out of there,
Right.
along with all the death. It's a very aromatic sort of experience.
Barrow backs off from that one, wiping his dagger on whatever's left of that kind of webbing, and says, I don't really want to cut open any other ones, thank you.
What makes the whole experience a little more horrifying is as you back off, there's a glint of recognition. You know you
not from
recognize it's Kelvin, the constable.
Oh no,
the corpse is Kelvin.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I don't mind having a glint of recognition of the corpse. I just didn't want the corpse having a glint of recognition
to recognize you. It's a one-way recognition. Yeah.
Zombies on day 2. Oh. Right. Okay, folks. I think that's Kelvin. He smells almost as bad as he did in real life.
Kelvin
He's looking terrible.
Yeah. He did have a problem with BO. He tried to rub like mint into his armpits to try and correct it, but then he just smelled like BO and mint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then mint was forever associated with BO.
None of you can have a mint tea.
Yeah,
anymore.
ruined lamb.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
guys. So we've found the constable. Does anybody else want to try and identify the other 2? I'm not willing to do that again. It was disgusting.
Sure. The shaman. The shaman says, "Well, yes, of course. I'll have a look. Thank you very much." And he takes the dagger, and he, presuming that the others are within arm's reach, will open one of them up.
Yeah, cool. So, hey, let's just. I'm assuming we're factory lining through these the rest of these things here, right? So, what you find is decayed, like pretty old, but these are much older corpses. You can see the bones and stuff. The flesh has become a little more liquid. It all turns green, in the end. But it's so these are older adventuring bodies. Within these cocoons, you're able to find other adventuring equipment. There is a hand axe. There is a dagger that is not fine. It has spent time in goo, so it is decidedly not fine. In fact, it does a D3 instead of a D6. You also find some padded armor that would be a good fit for a human. That's what you've got. That's what you found. And you've cut those open. If you happen to cut open the bodies of your friends, then you can feel free to loot the stuff off their bodies. They don't need it anymore. They're dead. Yeah.
I was just going to say, so Mimar of note has a cleaver, if you're interested, and 60 copper coins and a small wooden chest. And that's it.
Okay. Well, I mean, feel free, anyone, to claim those things. I think just make a note of it for now, Phil. And yeah. I'm going to. There's so many characters in the room that I'm just going to assume that, if you want to say that one of those things is on a different character, then we'll say that is so. To save us having the headache of keeping track of that stuff. Cool. So you cut all those things out. You cut all the things open. You notice that already there is some burny sort of marks where the bites happened to your recently deceased friends. Not to try and coach you through this, but to simply remind you what's in the room and why you sort of came here. You were following tracks that came into this room in the dust. Now, the tracks that led up to a scuffle had those glasses on the way, so you've maybe discovered the cause of that. Or maybe it was Kelvin, because you've also discovered that, right? There's many different many different ways that you can CSI bitterweed barrow that. But the
I just imagine the
other
theme tune then.
wow.
Yeah, definitely a Who track.
The tracks continue to the other set of tracks continue to the wall on the far side of the cabin.
Okay, so Barbo again. So the halfling is going to say, "Well, look, we found Calvin, and obviously we've cut down our party guests that came with us, but we haven't found Nebin. So I think we need to keep going forwards, don't we? See where those other footsteps guide."
Mm-hmm.
So again, Barbo's going to head forwards. Auric will go with him as well, and hopefully someone with the torch will follow a little bit behind so that Auric's not walking in complete darkness.
Cool.
Yes.
So
our friendly beekeeper will follow with the torch.
Awesome. So Barbo steps forward, continuing to prove to be the DM's favorite character, moving the story along. And you walk up to the wall. The wall is covered in webs where the footsteps end.
Okay. So the dirty dagger that I used to cut open one of the now known to be a corpse, we're going to poke it into the web on the wall and see whether it's solid wall or not through the web.
Cool. So yeah, you do that. You poke a hole in it, and as you pull the dagger out, some of the web sticks on the dagger. You're able to sort of wash it off. But then with that new hole, it allows a certain breeze to go through in and out of the web, and the web starts sort of like.
Wafting.
I mean, I don't want to scare you. It's not breathing, but it has that effect, right? Like it looks like it's sort of going in and out. Yeah,
Kind of big a hole.
Yeah, I think we found another tunnel behind here.
Maybe we can use that pole to just kind of literally feed it up and then pull it down and then.
Excellent. Yeah, that happens. You manage to dig through all the web and and you discover another natural tunnel on the other side of the web, more dark and more silent than the last.
Is this tunnel more like a naturally formed tunnel rather than one that's all brick lined?
Stone lined.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a naturally formed tunnel. Yeah, this part. Yeah, or at least it would. I mean,
sorry, go.
So look, if it's not naturally formed, then it's Troll's the miner, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Troll would recognize it as if it wasn't natural, then it's at least been dug and not worked. You know what I mean? Like it's that sort of tunnel.
So with that. This is more the sort of tunnel I'm used to. This feels more natural. This is a naturally good tunnel. This is good. This way, people. This way. Let's go. Let's go.
It's an adequate tunnel.
It is definitely an adequate tunnel.
Great miner, not so gooder with the words. You know. Like,
Go with that adequate shovel.
Cool. So I assume
fine dagger.
Yeah, for the fine stabbing. Yeah, cool. So I assume the rest of the party is going to follow along and in a similar sort of marching order as we had previously. Actually, let's go ahead and iron out that marching order, shall we? Is it going to be like a 2x2 sort of thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to tell you what it is, but like just to give you ideas of what I'm looking for, right?
Sure. So trial up front. Do we still have a dwarf? The other dwarf and the halfling? Do we want those all up the front?
We can't hear you, I'm afraid, Phil.
Barbo's a halfling, so he'll go to the front as well.
Cool.
We're short a dwarf though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
one of the dwarves.
Dwarves are always short. Zeb and his short bow are going to be kind of quite near the front.
We'll be. I was going to say we'll have the hunter So we'll have Brody.
Sorry, it was Zeb and Groovex were on the second rank, were they?
Did you say you've got a hunter with a bow?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay,
we'll
so maybe those two hunters, the hunter and the astrologer, will be second up with the bows, so they can fire over the heads of the.
Yeah, so that's Brody. Yeah, so we've got Barbo and Troll at the front. Brody and is it Zeb?
Zeb, yeah.
Yeah, Brody and Zeb. And then I think we're going to need the beekeeper for some light.
Say the beekeeper, and he'll have that caravan guard next to him, I think, with his 10-foot pole.
Okay, and that leaves our.
What's his name? Caravan person. Girdle. Okay.
And that leaves Groovex and Yale and Phil's other.
Auric.
Who's a mercenary. And Auric.
Unless there's money involved, he's quite happy to be near the back.
Yeah, and Yale.
And creeping at the far back.
It's Jen and Jim.
Still taking care of the noise from the silent darkness is Jen and Jim going woo. And all of Bynan's blustering in the inn earlier about how he should go. He's at the back with the twins, with our midwich cuckoo twins, protecting them.
The salamander's got him shook, right? You know.
Yeah.
Doesn't
care about the spider toad, but the salamanders.
Arthur Eisen, the tax collector, and Charwell Drogo, the soldier, will be in front of them, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Tax collector, just making sure his notes are up to date on who's been taking what things.
Blessed are the tax collectors.
Yeah. So you wander down the dark, silent, natural tunnel, and there's one thing that you're noticing as the light bounces off the walls that the walls as they meet the ground. They're helping you to be able to determine that the angle of descent as you go down this tunnel, it's increasing slightly as you go. You know, like as you go along, it increases. It's increasing and increasing. It becomes a little bit difficult because the floor changes as well from that worked smooth floor to more of like a gravelly, muddy sort of complexion of the floor. So it does get to the point where the angle of the descent does make it quite difficult for you to sort of continue walking. You haven't stopped yet, but that is kind of like a state of being for you right now, is walking difficulty walking. Yeah. And no, we're going to keep on going.
Well,
not scared of muddy rocks.
Is there anywhere else to go?
No. I just wanted to check in. Make sure
onwards
that
or backwards.
Onward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Onwards it is.
She starts humming as a sort of. bit of a dwarven, traditional dwarven mining song. As they go further down.
That's some deep lore. Lore. You've really been reading the DCC book, right?
Yeah.
So the humming continues and echoes off the wall, and other than that, there's mostly silence apart from the flutter of 1,000 wings ahead of you.
and the two kids at the back going. Woo!
Well, I read that right. You hear the flutter of 1,000 wings ahead of you. You hear the flutter of 1,000 wings closer to you. You hear the flutter of 1,000 wings all around you.
Right,
there's bats. There's bats everywhere. There's bats in your hair. They're in your hair. There's bats in your hair.
No.
Get his 10-foot pole and he's trying to whack the bats out the way.
Shaman's like,
there are bats all up in your business. They're everywhere. And in attempting to fight them off with 10-foot poles and Brennan shrieking, trying to get them out of his hair.
Oh, yeah. Brennan's just like a little girl.
I'm assuming he has quite luxurious hair as well. There's like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Cool. So in attempting to fight them off, you all slip on the path, steep, slick surface of mud and gravel, and you begin sliding down on your
Oh,
asses.
no.
It's like you're going down, and remember how I said that it was gradually getting steeper and steeper? It's getting steeper quicker,
Different, deeper.
and you're going you're going really, really fast down there now, but luckily you open up into a much wider area suddenly. Unluckily, that wider area goes down by quite a lot. And so what I'll get you to do is let's take Trial and Barbo first. Pass for me on a DC 6 reflex save, or you will tumble down into the chasm that you've discovered.
9.
Cool.
11.
All right, Zeb and Brody.
7.
Yep.
Oh, 8, in fact, because the +1.
All right, you don't fall into the chasm even more.
5. Do I get any modifiers?
They'll be under your
It's a reflex save.
Yeah. So I've got a +1, 6.
Whoa. And no, you managed to get through.
Sonic the Hedgehog moment.
Cedar and Girdle.
So Cedar, the beekeeper. He's up there. Reflex save +1 on the dice. 18 on the dice. Beekeeper, absolutely killing it. Keeping the torch
Does it
alive.
stylishly, yeah.
Girdle? Girdle is 0 on reflex. 18 on the dice again.
Fantastic. Groovex and Aurak.
Oh, RX just rolled a 1, I'm afraid.
Bring on the drama.
Look, you as written, you would get a roll under your luck to not go into the thing to try and grab the edge, but you rolled a 1. That's like,
yeah, indeed.
Can I? I got a 16, and just for the narrative fun of it, can I grab his shirt or something, and the shirt just comes off?
You just sails off shirtless into the dark.
How else could it happen?
Well, actually, hang on. There is one actual way of being able to save yourself here that is just through sheer brawn, right? How many hit points do you have?
2.
Okay, now you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. It's a 30-foot drop into the chasm, so you'd roll 3d6. So you're dead. You unceremoniously splat on the bottom of the chasm. It does Auric. Jen and Jim.
Jen and Jim. So, Jen flies straight over the edge.
What did she roll?
2.
Okay. Well, remembering as well, if you want to keep things alive, you can burn luck to try and hit the DC.
Unless you roll a critical 1, of course.
Wow. Yeah. Look, I feel like I earned that.
Indeed. It was my lucky dice as well.
Jen flies over the edge, splats to her death.
Okay.
She's only got 2 hit points. Jim, on the other hand, got a 16.
Okay, cool. With Jen, did you try rolling under your luck to see if you could grab the edge with Jen? Yeah, because it was only that one that really caused the instant death.
It was a 15 and her luck's 16.
Okay, so she spins in the air and manages to grab the edge. She gets the vision of her falling into the chasm and splatting, and it boosts her adrenaline suddenly, and she grabs onto the edge.
And she saw Auric go about 30 seconds before.
There was motivation to try and grab the edge, basically. Yeah. Cool. So that makes Jen and Jim both pass, although Jen was very close to death there. Bynon and Elson.
Bynon comes barreling past and flies over the edge, tries to grab the edge. He got 3 under 11. So he managed to grab the edge. Grab it too. Right.
Scary moments, but yep. Okay.
Who was the other
Can
one?
we collect the tax?
That was Elson.
Can we collect a tax?
Eisen will try and see if he can collect his not falling into the crypt tax. 16.
everyone
He's
tripping.
happy.
16's good.
I
Okay.
told you, Drogor.
Yep.
7 on the dice.
Mm-hmm. That's a pass.
It is, because he doesn't
Yep.
have -2 on his reflex, which I did want to check.
It occurs to me that I never said Yale as well.
Yale, the locksmith,
Yeah, sure.
has a 17.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so mostly managed to avoid falling into the chasm, which is a good thing when you can have it. So let's reveal a little bit more of the map here. So you got those bats, and you're in a chasm now, so you can see things. You need to scroll down a little bit there on that presentation there, Phil, to be able to see where you are now. Yeah, you managed to get down into there. So, yeah, you've slid towards a gaping chasm that you can see here. It's will be forever known as Oryx Chasm.
Yeah.
And
that sounds painful, doesn't it?
So in looking around, you're able to see that there are footsteps that emerge out of your scrabbling that you've just caused on the edge of the chasm there. There was presumably footsteps there beforehand before you ruined them all with your nearly dying and dying. As is applicable. So the footsteps lead from the slime to a mossy. Look, it's not new. It's kind of like it looks a bit rotten tree that crosses across a 20-foot chasm. Now the tree looks. I mean, you're underground, right? Like this isn't traditionally where trees grow. Traditionally, trees are outside, and this is inside.
Are we having this conversation again?
Outside? What is outside?
Just a second. There's no ceiling, so this is outside, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So the tree looks like it was placed there as a bridge, but very long ago, from what you can tell of what you can see from this tree. Now, on the other side, you can see there are outcroppings of rocks that jut out near the other edge of the chasm. You can barely see the far wall from the dark and so forth. It looks like there might be a door on the other side. It's difficult to tell from where you're standing. So that's what you can see.
Zeb straight away just goes, well, there's no time like the present, and just starts walking towards the fallen tree. And I think he's intending to just try and cross it.
All right, cool. So you walk towards the tree, and as you approach the tree, it's without the it's the silence has returned, having replaced the flutter of 1,000 wings, and what you can hear very, very faintly, you hear this: "Help me! Help me!"
I think that's
Fog.
Fuck.
It's definitely not Fog.
Yeah. It's either very quiet or it's very far away. Yeah.
Fog away, yeah. Did anyone else hear that?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Hear what?
Must be the old gods. And walks up closer to the edge, and listens for that again, and puts hand up, sort of gesturing so that everyone else can see that he's trying to hear something.
Help me! Help me!
Can I tell which direction it's coming from at all?
Yeah, you can hear it coming from the bottom of the chasm.
Can anybody else hear it?
If anyone else listens, then yes.
I will. I'm not that. I don't love heights, but I don't hate them. I'm going to actually kind of put my knees down to the edge of the the chasm rather than just peering over the top. So kind of safely look over the edge and see if I can see anything at all.
Okay, cool. Do you have a light source?
I've got a spyglass.
So you can see the darkness better. You can see the darkness very close.
Yeah. I call over to Groovex. Groovex, you've always got fire. Did you bring any? I can't see.
Sidor will, with his torch, will walk over and sort of lean the torch out over the edge so that.
And as you do that, Groovex says, "I do, but not for you." Yeah, full disclosure. Okay. Groovex has a lantern. He's just not disclosing it.
Yeah, Troll's got one too. She's not gonna. She don't want to use it and mess up her dark vision.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. This is not in response to that, but what I was actually going to say was, looking over the edge, you're not using like a lantern or anything like that. It's just like a torch. So you can't see, like you can see to the bottom, but not great. You see like the silhouette of a body at the bottom of the chasm.
Any idea how far down that is? Can we tell?
Somewhere between 0 and 30 feet.
Okay.
Did we just leave the rope tied to a side mite at the leg?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we left 50 foot of rope tied up upstairs.
Yeah, and 100
worst
foot rope
adventures ever.
How
has anybody else got any rope?
Help me!
Yeah, Zeb says, "Have they not got any rope?
Help me!
Have any of you got any rope? I mean, for goodness sake, am I the only person that's got any rope left?"
Probably.
You are now, yes.
Yeah, it reaches into his satchel and pulls out a spyglass. No.
Just to look fancy.
Yeah, he does have 50 foot of rope.
Okay.
So cool. They're before he does anything, hello? Hello? Anyone down there?
Help. I need somebody. Help.
Oh, God, it's a boy band. Right, let's go.
It's enough adventure for today.
Yeah. I only have one rule with these kinds of excursions. No boy bands.
He says turning up with a whole group of boys.
Help me.
Bynum comes barreling down. Come on, people. He regains his bluster from earlier after the shock of everything. I can help. Look. What are you people up to? You need a pillar of the community to help you here. Look, man, get your rope out. Get your rope out. Let's get down there. Let's get climbing down there.
So you're going to help by using my rope?
Yes.
Our rope.
And it's a tax collector. And with that, I'm going to... between us, we're going to tie the rope off at the top. But we intend to retrieve it this time.
Combine and climb down it.
Aim play.
We can probably write off the rope as the tax deductible now that we've used it in the event.
It's not 3 years old. Don't be ridiculous.
What was that voice that we just heard? Did nobody else hear it?
Help me.
Oh,
I think he wants some help.
It sounds like there is a voice coming from the bottom of this thing.
Yes,
at the
absolutely.
cave, this chasm. Look, have you managed to tie that rope off yet? I will climb down. I will look. With Bynum's like, come on, people, hurry up.
It keeps sounding different though.
He's going to. We've tied it off. He's going to climb down. Do you need an agility check or anything?
No, look, you've used a tool to assist you. You're all good. So yeah, you climb on down. It's quite dark down here. I'm assuming you weren't climbing with like a torch strapped to your back or something like that.
No, of course not.
Flaming torch strapped to your back on a rope.
What could go wrong?
No. He's climbed down the 30-foot drop on a rope. It's dark down there.
Yeah. Okay.
He does
cool.
shout up to the other people, go, "It's very dark down here.
Mhm.
Why didn't
Light,
you take a
people,
torch?
light."
Yeah, beekeeper holding his torch out. There it is.
Cool. Fantastic.
Brilliant, Pete.
The only gag I've got.
Cool. All right. So with the extra light, you're able to see lying a few feet from you is a broken body of a long dead man in wizardly robes. He has
expects the body
a
toasty.
cool. So he has a leather carrying bag lying next to him, and on the other side of him is a stick.
What's in the bag?
Okay, yeah. So you lean down to the bag and you hear, "Help me!"
From the bag?
Coming from the stick.
From the stick? Okay, so
Yeah.
before he leans down to open the bag, hears "help me" coming from the stick, immediately snaps around and looks at the stick and shouts, "There's a talking stick!"
There's a single show on the thing. You'll be able to see the stick if you check your VTT there. It's
Boom.
it's saying, "Help me."
It's got really pretty lips and everything,
Yeah.
and teeth and a tongue.
Eyelashes.
There is a human in stick form down here.
Help me. Help me.
He picks the stick up.
It continues in many ways.
He tries talking to the stick. Does it respond? to
Yola,
anything?
ayuda.
What on
Help me
earth
in
is
Spanish.
that?
Hello?
It's Australian, fact.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. It just continues to say, "Help me." It's just saying,
Okay.
"Help me."
Takes the
Yeah.
stick, grabs the bag. By this point, he's so baffled by the stick that he
Uh-huh.
doesn't look in the bag. He just grabs the bag, stuffs the stick into the bag a bit, latches it over, and
Help
then
me.
climbs back up.
Help me. Help me.
Gets back up to the top and goes, "There's a bloke in a wizard robe down there. This is his magic talking stick, and here's a bag of stuff."
A magic
Okay.
talking stick.
And he just hands them like this. Like he doesn't want a magic talking stick. I'm sure
Grivek's heard
somebody
about
else
talking
does.
sticks before. As a shaman, he's convinced it's some kind of an old traditional, like a rain stick, but not.
I've just read chat. It's the stick of emergency.
Players will be
Very
our
good.
judge.
Do you have any idea of your financial worth?
Have you been in an accident at work?
Do you
The,
happen to know the name of the deceased wizard?
And Groovex just turns to, is it Ison that's saying that? And says,
Yes.
"You're not holding the talking stick, so shush."
Oh.
Help me.
What on earth is that all
The
about?
risk to take the stick.
Yeah, somebody take the stick from behind him.
Groovex has taken the stick, but he's going to look for like a piece of fabric or something. And he's just going to stuff it in the mouth of the stick.
Okay. Assume that you'll be able to find a. Cool.
Combine and empty the bag that he brought back up. Just empties it out on the floor.
Maybe that's going to
Sure.
tell us what on earth's going on here.
So within the leather bag, what pours out onto the floor are various spell casting components. We're talking raven's feet. We're talking frog husks. one of the other things that comes out is the skin of a snake that's been rolled up like parchment and tied with with not a bad ribbon. Again, you guys haven't really seen like a gold piece before, right? It's fancy ribbon, right? Yeah.
So this isn't Nebin? It wasn't Nebin down at the bottom?
No, it didn't look like Nebin. It looked like some old dead bloke wearing a dress.
Wearing a dress.
And pointy hat. Right.
A pointy hat.
Well, I take the piece of fabric out of the stick's mouth and I just try and torture it and say, "How can we help you?"
Help me.
And stuff the fabric back in. And Zeb says, well, we're here to do a job. We're here to get paid. I see good fortune, but we must press on. And starts eyeing up whether or not he thinks he can cross the tree.
And I'm guessing all this stuff has some value somewhere. We'll gather it up and take it with us.
I mean, it already came in a nice bag, so
Yeah,
I'm sure comes with a free carry bag, right?
I'm sure somebody wants bag for life. I'm sure somebody wants a talking stick.
Jen would like to her little eyes light up, and she would like to take the roll of snakeskin. So as people start to pour through this stuff, she takes the rolled up snakeskin with the pretty looking ribbon.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. That's okay. You taking it? All right, cool.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah, I got it written down.
Holding it. All right. Yeah. And on we go. So you're looking at the tree, right? So the tree. Look, it's difficult to really describe the exact situation here, right? Big old tree, obviously used as a bridge, obviously placed a long time ago, obviously rotten in some way. So that's about as much assurance as you're going to get from looking at it, right?
So I think if we're going to cross this, then maybe we should, considering what happened to Oric and what's happened to the man in the dress, maybe we should hook up the rope and somebody have a go and see what it's like. I mean, Barbo's happy to have a go. He's small and light.
Yeah,
to try it out and see what it's
take
like.
The halfling and the smaller and lighter people across first, then they can tie off at the other end.
Yeah. So Barbo's going to tie the rope around his waist, and he's going to attempt to cross the tree trunk.
And Zeb and Groovex will happily take the slack at this end. So worst case scenario, if you fall, you're just going to kind of, gracefully smack into the wall. You don't fall to the floor.
Yeah, very graceful, yeah.
But you're lightweight, so it won't be that heavy an impact, right?
Yeah. Yeah, tell that to my second breakfast. Let's have a go.
So, as Barbo wanders over the, it's quite a tense moment as you step onto the branch. You hear all sorts of creaking and moaning as if the branch is singing to you as you go across, and it's not a very happy song. And as you go across, you almost think that you hear some form of murmur that sounds like it's going to break, and then you realize that it's the echo of from inside the bag. As you reach terra firma on the other side safely. So that's kind of where you're at.
So be careful, everybody. So it is possible, and it makes some ominous creaking noises. But I think if we use the rope, we can come across. So is there somewhere on this side where I can maybe tie the rope off so that there's something a bit more solid?
Yeah, sure. You'll find some. There's we're in a natural cavern underground,
okay,
so it's
I'll find
there's plenty of
stalagmite. Then I'll wrap the rope around it, and pull so that my body weight and the thing works like a lever, and we'll get everybody across.
Yeah.
So awesome. Come across when you're able to, and then while people are doing that, I'll have a look around. What have we got nearby?
Cool. So remember that thing that kind of looked like a door? It's a door. Yeah. There's a door here. And
Is it a jar?
Yeah. It is not a jar. It's
definitely a door.
It's weathered. It's a weathered door. It's kind of like it looks dry rot, like it's dry, but it still looks rotted, like it's a dry rot sort of thing. But it looks otherwise sturdy. It looks old, but it looks sturdy, right?
Okay.
And it's sort of like iron bound as well. So that's probably what's keeping a lot of the rotted wood held together. You know what I mean? So that's what you can see on this side. There's a rope tied off and a whole heap of people on the other side. So, yeah.
I think Zeb's going to look to try and tie it off kind of at the other end. The idea that then the rope can be kind of taut, at kind of waist height, maybe along the length of the tree.
Yeah. Going to make this real safe. Real safe.
Like a tight rope.
Sort of thing, you know? Yeah.
Not like a tie rope.
Because before this was an OHS nightmare, you know what I mean? Like,
what he's thinking is, I mean, what else do you do? Do you just tie it around the waist of the person going across, and then they've got the entire rope? So it's been tied off at the far side.
Yeah.
So rather than your, I mean, you are all excellent at describing things, but let's just say each group of people, of the remaining people, go across at the same time to save having to describe 4 and 5 people at a time.
And then Zeb will just tie it around his rope, right?
Yeah, that's
tie it around his waist and come
across.
Yeah. Cool. So you're last, are you, Seb?
Seb's last.
Okay. Right. Roll me a 50 percentile.
Oh.
Okay. 81.
Okay, so it's you get some pretty serious creaks as you go across. A crack even appears in the branch, and you're like, oh! And you take the last few steps are like a little bit quicker. It doesn't cave in, but yeah, it was. There was a bit, you know, it was a bit close.
A couple of times where I just freeze, like.
Yeah,
I like it. Squeaky bum time.
Cool. So you all are now on the other side of the chasm in front of this door.
Okay. In that case, Barbo's going to explain then. So I've been looking at this. It's a rotten door and it's bound in steel. It's shut. Anybody got any way of getting it open? Do you want to have a look?
Charles got a crowbar. So stand to one side. I could do this sort of thing. I could do this.
Wait.
And with that, she just wedges her crowbar straight into the.
There's no waiting.
Yale, the locksmith, is just kind of going.
She doesn't wedge it into the lock. She wedges it into the side between like the door frame and the door. Wedges it, and that's just jimmying it.
So uncouth. Okay, cool.
Yeah. What do you want from me in terms of rolls?
Yeah, go ahead and let's do a strength. Let's do a strength check.
4.
Okay. Well, luckily for you, the strength check was only to see how convincingly you opened it because it wasn't locked. So I was trying to work out how quickly you swung it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just going to go woof, but no, this just sort of like you go and it goes. And just,
well done. That's brilliant.
Like the proportion through which you pushed it was like, you know what I mean? Like it was really hard, and it was just a little bit like that.
The door is open. Let's go.
Yeah. Cool.
Charles going to go straight through. The door's open. She's going straight through.
Okay,
she's
cool.
at home down here in the dark.
Excellent. So, Trial is the dwarf?
Yes.
Yep. Cool. So you can see stuff. So, you take one step inside, and I appreciate your vigor and candor in going forward, but I think the sight would probably stop her in her tracks just in the doorway. So you see smooth marble walls, which wouldn't stop you in your tracks, but is still quite marvelous compared to some of the things that you've seen. You see
She's admiring the stone.
You see an ornate tiled floor that's covered in dust. And again, quite nice, but not the thing that stops you in your tracks. What stops you in your tracks is in the center of this room, there is a column of water in the center of the room. It looks like it's 6 feet in diameter. And as if that isn't sort of like crazy enough, it appears to sort of defy gravity. It's like it's rising from the floor 20 feet up into the roof. And it stands there perfectly clear and still and placid. And yeah, that's kind of what you see in the
So it's not
middle
flowing
of the room.
so it's not like a stream in flow going upwards. It's just a solid column of water, like ice, but not ice.
Yeah, ice, but
Okay.
liquid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So it's not
that's
moving.
water, yes.
No, it's not. It's not like a flowing river.
Yeah. It's not flowing. It's a still column of liquid water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Remember how the gate in Stargate used to look? Kind of like that, right? Yeah.
Okay.
She shouts back, "There's a column of water in here."
Oh, wonderful. Yale just beelines in, grabs her flask and just sticks it in and scoops some out.
Cool. All right. So you stick your hand into the water, and when it comes out, I'm going to need to look up rules for this. Hang on.
Oh dear.
There is.
Can't be good if you've got to look the
There is
rules up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5% chance.
What is the rule for having a slightly damp hand? Nothing else. I'm not sure there's a mechanical thing for it. It's
but I'm scooping some of the water up with the flask. Is my idea. And,
cool. You got that. Yeah,
and she drinks it.
So you're able to put your hand in. It fills it up. You have some drink, some water. It reminds you of home. It's it's quite refreshing and so forth. Home feels so far away, having slipped down amongst 1,000 bat wings. So you take a moment to sort of review your surroundings as you're in here. I'm assuming the light has come into the slightly damp hand means extra fumble later in the game. Yeah, I'm game. Let's do it. So
thanks, mate. Much appreciated.
So
remind me to revoke your patronship.
So you take a note of your surroundings, and I'll give you a bit of an image of what you can see in there. There's a door in each of the 4 walls, and on the eastern wall, the in front of the door on the eastern wall, there are numerous scattered bones that lay close to that door in the eastern wall. In the northeastern corner, there is a fountain, or at least it looks like a fountain. It's of a vaguely humanoid sort of looking tree, and it's got what would be its hands, but are kind of like branches, like cupped in front of its face. And in the southeastern corner, there is a similar sort of fountain, but it's like a demon face. It's got these horns that come back and almost poke back into the wall behind it, and some like fangs that come out, and similarly with hands in front of it. And yeah, sorry, that was a long description. So in case you missed it, there's a door in each wall as well. So that's kind of what you got.
Are there any? You said that the floor was dusty. Were there any footprints in here?
So the floor here wasn't dusty so much as it was bony. There was bones dusted around the floor. Sorry, no, I did say there was dust, didn't I? Yeah, no, sorry. No, you're right. That was one of the earlier descriptions I gave and completely forgot that I said. Yeah, there is dust on the floor. Yeah. But
no footprints or anything. So before we saw footprints that disappeared off.
So you can see some footprints. They come from the door that you just walked through, and they proceed to the tree fountain. Then they start getting a little fainter from there. So, you would need to roll if you wanted to be able to continue tracking them from there.
The hunter will head over. I've forgotten his name now. Brody will head over towards the tree fountain and have a look and see if he can see where the footprints go.
Okay, cool. So make me a DC 14 intelligence check.
We've rolled a 14, so I think that's a good.
Yep, you done. Cool. So you start looking at these things, and you almost veer off the track, but then you manage to get yourself back on, and you're able to work out quite a sort of detailed view of whoever owned these footprints and how they walked around. It looks like what's happened is they've walked in the door that you came in, went to the tree-looking fountain, and then they went to the northern door, which appears to have been opened, but you can tell from the footprints that it wasn't entered. They basically just sort of closed the door and walked off. They then went to the southern door, which appears to have remained shut. And then finally they went to the eastern door, which appears to have been opened and then passed through. So it looks like someone's been walking around in here. And in case that was a lot to follow, essentially they've checked a few things and then gone out the eastern door.
Okay.
Are you still standing by the water?
Yeah,
Zeb?
but go on, that's it.
That was Dark Old Phil.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So you hear it's like a splashing, sort of coming through the water, but it sounds like it's coming from when you hear things underwater, that's kind of like what the splashing sounds like coming out of the column. And you look up and you see a bucket that is unmistakably the bucket from Bitterweed Barrow's well. I say unmistakably. I've said unmistakably a lot during these sessions. It's because you're from such a small town. It's like you know the bucket, right? You've used it 100 times before.
Yeah. It's got Bitterweed Barrow written on the side of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
that's
because those bastards from over the other side kept trying to steal it. So we had
to write your name on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we know it's our bucket.
So I stick my head basically through this sort of wall of water and trying to look up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting that this looks like a well shaft.
Yeah, so if you look up, you're looking underwater and it's quite dark. You're able to see the lights sort of come up, like the end of the ring. You can see the... So you can see up.
So I pull my head back out and shake it, and hat falls off from wearing one.
Okay, Brody's going.
I don't know why you would mention that.
Brody's going to explain to everybody else that he's kind of followed the footprints in the dust, and it looks like whoever came in went kind of to all the doors apart from the west one, and it looks like they exited out of the east door. I'm not sure. They seem to know what they were doing because it looks like they opened the north door, but didn't open the southern door. I don't really know what's going on, but I can see that in the footsteps on the floor.
Well, it sounds like the only door worth going to is the east one then. But more interestingly, look at this. This is the bucket that Farg made.
He signed his name on the bottom when he built it.
So are we below the well in the village?
That's what it looks like.
Jace, is the adventure over? You have the bucket, so your town owner is satisfied. Yeah, that's actually the entire quest item.
Well done.
Forgot about Nebin. Who cares about that guy?
Hey, we got the bucket that we could get from the top, but we got
still
it
attached to the rope in the village.
Yeah, this is just the bottom of the well shaft.
Jen and Jim look at each other and ask each other and go, what are behind the doors? And then each of them are going to go, one to the north door and one to the south door.
Okay.
They're going to attempt to open the doors almost simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
That'll go well.
Cool. So in terms of we'll do the south door first. So you go to dramatically open the south door. You get ready for the admiration of your peers and of having gone on an adventure, and the fucking thing's locked. So yeah, nothing happens.
Yeah,
it's just locked.
Jim,
You just shake it and stuff.
Yeah. This one's closed.
Yeah.
What about you, Jen?
You try not to make a big deal out of it, just in case, So yeah, in case your ego takes damage. So the one in the north.
Oh yes, yeah. Troll, we might need your crowbar on this door. How about you, Jen? What's going on with the north door?
So the door's unlocked and it opens outward into the chamber, and beyond is a small closet containing a mirror that runs from floor to ceiling. There's nothing else that you can see that would appear to be present in this like small room. It's nothing more than a simple pantry with a giant mirror in it.
It's a walk-in wardrobe with a door built in, with a mirror built in.
There you go. It's very functional.
Jen turns back and goes, "It's a walk-in wardrobe. We never had one of these." Oh, the mirror looks pretty. She steps towards the mirror and she wants to look into the mirror.
So the mirror is covered in a thick layer of dust. So obscure you can barely see your own movements in the dim reflection until you do that. And when you wipe it off, you see into the mirror. You see that you basically see past yourself, like as if you're not in the mirror. And you can see the column of water behind you, as if you'd seen through yourself in the reflection and seen the column of water behind you. You're able to see that there are symbols around the base of the column there that you can see in the image that I've shared there previously. Those appear in the reflection. So yeah.
Can she make out? Does she recognize the symbols at all? Can she read them? And in the sort of mirror writing, does it look like it's the right way round or anything?
They're quite far away, those runes. So it's difficult to you wouldn't be able to read them from where you are.
Okay. She goes, "There's a mirror in here. There are runes on the base of the thing, the water. Okay." And with that, she turns around and walks back out.
Okay. You did it.
It's a mirror.
Achievement unlocked.
She's looking at it, and as far as she can tell, it's a mirror. It was a big grubby mirror. Somebody's got a walk-in wardrobe and they've put a mirror in it, and she can't really tell from where she's standing looking into the mirror. She can't read what's on the base of the column of water. So,
okay.
Apart from she can get closer and look closer into the mirror.
Yep. So yeah, you can get closer to the mirror, but it's that doesn't bring you closer to the image, unfortunately. But yeah, no, it's that's what you can see. All right, cool. So if you
she comes out and just tells people there's a mirror in there.
Weird.
Thanks, Jen.
You're
Anyone else doing anything, Pete?
No. We sort of other doors and we can try.
We haven't tried the western door and the eastern door.
You walked in through the western door.
Of course we did. Yeah, of course we did. So it's the eastern door is where the footsteps lead out of.
The beekeeper will walk over and open the eastern door, or at least try to.
Cool. So you walk over to the eastern door, and you put your hand. You go to put your hand on it, and you hear rattling and skittering like someone rolling dice, but rolling like many dice across a wooden table, sort of, or stone table even.
We're going to play DCC.
Yeah.
The sound of 1,000 dices.
So you turn to try and find the source of the rattling. You can tell that it's coming from in this room. It's coming from behind you, and as you turn, you see the bones that were on the floor all bouncing and skittering together, and they're connecting. The leg bones connected to the hip bone and so forth. And there's one leg, and then there's another leg. And then there's 4 legs.
No.
This happens twice. It connects to a body, and there are now two dog-shaped. Actually, is it even more than that? No, there's 3 dog-shaped bones of skeletons that are standing there, and there's 6 heads.
What?
Yeah, 2-headed bone dogs. So I tell you what. We're going to fight the 2-headed bone dogs in the exciting next episode of Nebin Pendlebrook's Perilous Pantry.
Oh, wow.
Is this just to prolong the deaths of my characters?
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to savor it.
Thank you so much, Judge Zach. If you enjoyed that, please do like, subscribe, follow, all that sort of stuff. Let us know in the comments what you thought. We really appreciate that. And you can always join us on Discord. We also have a Patreon. Come and join the fun. And we'll be back as soon as we can for the next installment of Nebin Pendlebrook's Perilous Pantry, Dungeon Crawl Classics. Thank you, Judge Zach. And thank you to Erin and to Phil and to Pete. I think we're done. That was awesome.
Really need a sign off.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was really an amazing place to stop. And
cool.
we will be back very soon for the next one. Till then, take care. Thank you everyone for watching. And I really hope your dice rolls are a lot better than mine.
A lot better than ours.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.